Hey everybody, welcome to Post to Post. It's Neil here. It's that time of year again to do the playoff bracket. Actually, the time was probably yesterday or the day before. I am a little bit late with this video, and some of the games have already taken place. However, the actual screenshot that you're going to see, which is my bracket, was clearly made 3 days prior to the playoff starting. So don't worry, I'm not trying to cheat here. And if I was, I sure would not pick some teams that have lost last night. So don't worry about it. Okay, I picked these prior to the playoff starting. Let's go east to west. I'm going to give you my predictions of every single series, and I'm not really going to tell you who I want to win in this video because that video is coming next. I'm going to do another bracket video where I just go through every single series and say who I want to win all the way to the Cup Finals so you can see who exactly I'm cheering for throughout the entire playoffs as they unfold. Hypothetically, but let's look at my actual predictions. And I always say this in these videos, don't take this seriously, guys. I mean, if my predictions literally make you upset, go outside for a walk, have a popsicle or something, just like calm down. This is not a serious thing. Let's jump in. Let's do East first, and we'll go from top to bottom on this screenshot that I have here. Let's talk Boston and Florida. I think logically, Boston wins this. They're just like, based on the first game, Florida actually played way better than I thought they were going to, and Florida's been playing playoff hockey basically the last couple of weeks trying to get into the playoffs, so they're rolling right now. But still, Boston was just a little bit too much to handle. So I personally have Boston in 5, or I did at this moment. But after watching them play last night, could actually be 6. I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised. But I've got Boston winning this in 5. The next series, the Toronto-Tampa Bay one, that's kind of up in the air. But I honestly see Toronto kind of getting over the hurdle a little bit, but not getting over the hurdle in like a Game 5 or a Game 6 and getting it done. I'm talking about a Game 7. Like them actually winning a Game 7. So I've got them, I've got the Toronto Maple Leafs defeating the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round in 7 games in that Game 7, that all-important 7th game. The next series, Carolina versus the Islanders. I've got Carolina winning in 6. Would be very pleased if either of these teams won the series. I like both of them, but I do have Carolina in 6. The next series, I've got the Rangers in 7, and I was so conflicted with this one because New Jersey's had such a good year, but I kind of liked more of the trade deadline acquisitions by the Rangers, and I think they have a better team to kind of go deeper, I guess, than the New Jersey Devils. So, and I can kind of see them getting on a bit of a goalie run as well, getting a really, really hot goalie and just kind of pushing it through, even if the players up front falter a little bit, they kind of have that weapon on the back end there. So I gave it to the Rangers in 7, but it could easily be the Devils. Let's go to my hypothetical round 2. So we've got Boston versus the Maple Leafs. Be amazing series. Boston versus Toronto. Heck yeah. I do have Boston winning that one. I think Boston's just a little bit better than maybe not a little bit, but Boston's had a good year, okay? They're on fire. So Boston over Toronto. The next series, the hypothetical version I have here, is the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Rangers. I think in this series it would be extremely close, but I kind of feel like Carolina could edge New York in this one, but I wouldn't be totally surprised if the Rangers did that. However, I do have Carolina winning this one. So the conference finals matchup for the East would be Boston versus Carolina, 2 teams that have played each other recently in the NHL playoff history. So it would be an excellent series. I do have Boston. I'm going to go the easy route, okay? Boston had an amazing year. Their team is just on fire right now. So I'm taking the easy direction this year, the very logical direction. I'm sending Boston to the finals. Let's move over into the West. Let's start at the top. Let's go Colorado versus Seattle. Seattle's had an amazing year, a very underrated, not very talked about year, but I still think Colorado could probably do it in 6, and I would like to see Seattle push it to 7. And if Seattle won, I don't want to say who I'm cheering for in this series, but if Seattle won, I'd be pretty happy. The next series down, Dallas versus Minnesota. Now, the game last night was all over the place. It was a very exciting game. The refs played an impact, maybe a little bit too much, but I do have Dallas winning this series in 7, and it was just so close. I mean, it went to overtime, and I fell asleep actually before the game ended. And you'd think, if I was doing this bracket right now instead of before the playoffs started, well, Minnesota won last night, so I should be picking Minnesota just to hedge my bets, but no, I'm picking Dallas. That was my original pick, and Dallas in 7. Moving on down the list, we've got Vegas versus Winnipeg. This is a rematch from a couple of years ago, 2018 in the playoffs conference finals. Vegas won that series, and I kind of see them doing the same thing. I've got them winning this in 6, although I may or may not be cheering for Winnipeg here. Edmonton versus LA. That was an intense game last night. Again, I did not see the end of it. I did fall asleep, unfortunately, very late here on the Atlantic time zone on the east coast of Canada. I have Edmonton winning in 6, but I kind of regret that decision a little bit when I originally made this. LA could easily win this series, and I don't necessarily regret picking Edmonton to win. I regret not picking 7 games because I had it in 6 here, so I think that was maybe a bit of a falter of mine. Okay, round 2, we've got a hypothetical Colorado versus Dallas. I think that Dallas just got something special going on this year, to be completely honest, so I've got Dallas over Colorado. Colorado's played a lot of hockey in the last year and year plus, so I'm kind of, well, I guess Dallas has too actually, but I'm kind of feeling Dallas, so Dallas over Colorado. And then the other series in round 2 would be Vegas versus Edmonton, and I've got Edmonton over Vegas. I kind of feel something special about Edmonton as well. Maybe not after last night, but anyways. Then the conference finals would be a hypothetical Dallas versus Edmonton, and I've got Dallas. I got a sweet spot for Dallas this year. Okay, I just got that sweet spot, and I got Dallas going on to the Stanley Cup Finals. So my predicted Stanley Cup final would be Dallas versus Boston. And again, I'm going to take the easy direction. I'm not going to play any risks this year like I do in years before and kind of go, chase my gut or anything like that. I'm just going to play super logical this year and not take any risks. I'm picking Boston. I think Boston is going to win the Stanley Cup. And as this screenshot shows, I didn't even submit this bracket at the moment, but I did end up submitting exactly this with 35 goals in the final series. So yeah, there you have it. There's my predictions. Not as exciting for me as talking about the teams that I want to win. So I'm really looking forward to that next video where I tell you who I'm cheering for in every single series. So if you're interested in that and you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button. That will be coming very soon. You should see that pretty momentarily after this video. So yeah, hope you're enjoying the start to the playoffs, and thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button and tell me down below in the comment section who you think is winning the Stanley Cup this year. Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Adios.